Hopefully everybody can hear me okay. How is everybody? It's so hot in my house, you guys. Oh my God. It's legit 96 degrees in my house. So I am sitting on frozen towels because I didn't have any more peas or Ziploc bags to put ice in. So it's hot as shit. I'm going to try to stay on as long as I can tonight for you guys, but at some point it's going to be too hot. Let me know if you guys can hear me, okay? Whew, it's been a day. It's sideways. Hold on, let me see. Why is it doing that? Okay, can you guys see me okay now? Can you hear me okay? I don't know what the heck is going on. I don't know how to change it, so we get what we get. It's Mercury retrograde. I'm hot as heck, Mari. That's how I am. But you guys can hear me okay, right? I hate having it on like this. So, okay, hold on one second, guys. Everything has to be propped different ways depending on how the, camera is going. So, hey guys, hey everybody. Sorry, it's 96 degrees in my house. My AC is broken. So, I'm going to be on as long as I can handle it, and then I'm leaving for the night because there's no way I'm going to be able to sleep in here again. I could not sleep at all the last 2 nights. My AC is getting fixed Monday morning. Thank God. Thank God. Yes, Mimi Mama, Monday morning. So we will not be having a station head Monday morning too, guys, just so you know, because they're coming right at the time that I usually go on so they can install stuff. So my electricity and all of that will be probably shut on and off. And then also, it's probably going to be loud too. So, but we'll be back on Tuesday as normal. And then Tuesday nights over on Station Head is support group night. So, and I'm sure Vic will come back for that too. Hey, Rico, welcome back. So we've got that going on. Also, guys, if you did want to book a reading on the site, and I will put the link in the description or in the chat in a minute, I am now offering healings. You can add one to any reading, or you can book a separate session. It is energy healing. I combine Reiki, chakra alignment, removing negative energy blocks, pranic healing, lots of different methods. It will be customized to each individual person's needs. So that is up live on the site now too. So I hope everybody has been having a good week despite the fact that Mercury retrograde has just been crazy as heck. And if you did book a reading previously, you also got an email with the healings announcement plus a very special, very generous coupon code. That is what I have been up to. I told you guys I was doing stuff, but I couldn't talk about everything. I was updating my healing stuff. Oh my God, Jupiter love. Right? Well, just hot weather anyways, and, big boobs also. Ugh. I hate when the camera's like this too, because then it makes you look like you're like way bigger than you are. So this week was all over the place. Like a lot of stuff that I was waiting on happening finally happened. But then on the other side of it, like It was stuff too that it's like, ugh, like did we have to go through that? Like, the whole AC breaking and then waiting for the HOA to finally get back to us so they can go ahead and install it. Because that was the problem, was getting the homeowners association to approve them installing it, because it's considered making an I don't know, like, that we're changing something on the outside that's can affect everybody's vision or something. But this retrograde has been super intense because we've got other planets in retrograde. There was eclipses and blood moons, and it just really, 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 really like ended up being this kind of intense retrograde coming in. You know what, Mellow Baby? I was saying this. I talk about that lady so much as in Nicki Minaj. I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just being funny. But like, I talk about her so much between Station Head and then over here, that, and I've done so many readings on her. I forget what the heck I even predicted, but apparently I predicted a lot of stuff that came true with her. So it was a lot has happened. But I was like, hey, since she came back, she's been making me look like I'm like the best psychic in the world. Because, that was the problem too, is like we were talking about her for so long because nothing was going on. And then she just came in doing everything that we've been talking about. So it's like kind of a whirlwind too, trying to catch up, because it feels like there was just slow, 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 and then boom, all this stuff all at once, right? Hey Tay, hey Laverne, and hi to everybody that I didn't get to say hello to individually. Barbie Onika, Jupiter, Mellow Baby, BJ King. Oh my God, I wish. Oh my God, that would be funny. But I just keep telling you guys too, like some of the celebrities that I do have as clients have like specifically asked me to never read on them on here, because I do have clients that are celebrities, and that's why I was like, God knows if she'd be like, okay, I want a reading, but you can't ever read about me on YouTube again, I'd be like, no. So every time you guys say stuff like, I want you to read on, or I wish you would read, you would, like, I wish you would book an appointment with you, I'm like, be careful what you wish for though, guy. Well, that's why I stopped, because I used to do celebrity readings on Instagram Live like a long time ago. A long time ago. Well, I mean, like I started doing them like way before on Instagram, before I ever came over here. But then I started getting like a lot of celebrities like hitting my DMs and booking me for appointments because they saw me reading on other celebrities. But then I was like, well, you can't read on me. So it just became like such a weird, convoluted thing that I just stopped doing celebrity readings on the internet, because I was like, okay, some people are making me sign NDAs. Like, this is getting to be a lot. So I just like had to take a break for a while and figure out how do I balance all of that. And then when I came back, obviously I came over here trying to make sure that I type this all out right. And oh, Tay, that's if you were on Station Head, that's why I was saying it was hard for Vic, because he's so used to being in that same situation where, and then of course, because when I worked in social services, everything is all confidential too. So you just get so used to like not being able to say anything that then when you get to a point where it's like, oh, like come talk about everything, it's like, I don't know how to do that. Like it just feels so weird. So that is all. Oh, thank you, Jupiter. But yeah, I mean, usually anytime that you work with celebrities who are smart, in any capacity, they want you to sign NDAs because they don't want you to talk about what you talked about with them, or any of that stuff, which I completely understand. And you guys, I say this too, like, I understand them because they would be like, hey, I had to pay you to book my appointment, but then you're doing a reading about me for free on YouTube, but then YouTube's paying you AdSense money, like, why they would also have an issue with it beyond the confidential side of things. So, that's why it's like I do like reading for celebrities, but I like reading for you guys too, and I like being over here too. So, we just have to find the balance in everything in life. So, guys, before we get started, because I'm going to jump in quick tonight, because, like I said, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay on here before I die from a heat stroke. Like, you guys, it literally got so hot in here the other night, I threw up. So, it gets, because I live upstairs, and you guys can't see, like, but there's a huge window that goes across here, and this whole side of my house gets full sun from sun up to sun down, which is such a blessing and such a nice thing to have so much natural light when, your AC works, but when it doesn't work, it's the biggest curse in the world. And all the fans and blackout curtains in the world will not help you because the heat rises, and then it's coming in, and then I'm in California, and we've also had excessive heat this week, so it's like, as much as I could put 100 fans up here when it's already so hot, they can't do so much. So that's why I was like, that's why I was running late too, because I was trying to cool it down enough in here so that I could handle sitting in here with the blinds open, with lights on, doing all of this, because it gets really hot in my room. I don't know why that is too. Every place I ever live, like my bedroom is always the hottest room in the house. The coldest in the winter and the hottest in the summer. So, but yes, no, I don't want more. See, I'm like kind of like, that's where I'm saying too, it's kind of a blessing and a curse because I'm like, it's my weekend without my kid. Yes, I try to do that, but it only helps a little bit. Mimi Mama, I've been trying everything. Like, I was on YouTube last night when I couldn't sleep at 2 o'clock in the morning, like trying to figure out ways that you can cool yourself down because I just kept going and taking a shower. So that's why I told you guys I froze washcloths and I have them like all packed around me right now to try to keep me cool because see how much I love you guys? That I'm literally sitting here sweating with frozen washcloths around me so that I can read on Nicki Minaj for you guys. Like, don't ever say I don't love my barbs, okay? So before we get started with the questions, guys, like always, if it's stuff we've already answered multiple times, I'm going to pass on those questions because we try to make it so that there's more opportunities for more people's questions to get answered. If you want to guarantee that your question will get answered, you can always super chat or do a super sticker. We donate all of the AdSense as well as any of the super chats and donations to the Barb Fund. I'm like, I think I said it right because I always say it wrong or then I forget what it's called. And me and Mercury retrograde, I always get tongue-tied, but that's where it goes to. After that, we will, of course, be donating it back to charity again. So, I will let you guys know when I am taking questions, and I will say hold the questions because there is only one of me. So when I say that I am, drop questions, then you can go ahead and drop them, and then I will say stop so I can go ahead and go back through and answer them. So you guys can go ahead and drop your questions now. Also, make sure you guys are liking. If you want me to keep coming back and doing this, gotta hit some like buttons. Mimi Mama, my skin has been so dry because I have been in cold showers on and off all day, every day this whole week. So keep in mind too, guys, you guys, when you're asking for whole entire relationship questions, those are going to take a long ass time to answer. So I'm not going to do those tonight. So when you're asking about Nicki Minaj and Lana Del Rey and just dropping people's names together, I'm not answering any of those because that's a full reading that's going to take 20 minutes. So Mimi Mama, Spirit is saying that the Spirit is saying that she's going to. It's actually something that I feel like, okay, there's two ways that she's going to do it. The first round of it, like, I do feel it coming around her and, like, her next era, when she is super duper active and we've got a whole, new school year and stuff going on again. I do feel like if it's not this school year, the next year for sure, like she's gonna have a scholarship with her name. Also, I keep getting like there might be something that her and Kenny do together for kids whose parents were incarcerated. Now, don't be surprised if they do something like that and we don't see Kim Kardashian or Jay-Z trying to stick their foot in the middle of it and get involved because they're all about the whole, making criminal justice system and justice reform and this and that. However, I don't really feel like, I feel like she'll let them talk about it, but if she chose, Spirit is saying if Nikki chose either one of them to work with, on any of it, she would choose Kim before she would choose Jay-Z because of Meek. So, no, Jalen. If she's gonna do anything like that, it'll be her last, her sixth album, which completes her contract with Republic. Yeah, we addressed that last week, Jupiter. And I have another reading that I'm gonna do soon about Jay-Z. So, no, and I'll tell you guys, I'm just gonna tell you something. I don't want to bring a bunch of attention back to that subject again because I always tell you guys don't even give it the time of day because at this point we know there's a certain person with a certain narrative who always wants to pop up telling their side of the story whenever Nikki comes back around and then they're quiet when she disappears. You guys can put two and two together who I mean. But we've talked about this too, that Nikki's definitely got her legal team working on it, and they're playing chess, not checkers. I keep getting something is gonna happen in this whole entire situation that not only when she puts an end to that person running around claiming that her and Kenny are doing certain things, that at the same time, it might actually end up leading to Kenny's exoneration. Because there is something big that's going to come out of this whole situation that's in Kenny's favor, is what Spirit keeps saying. So I would not be surprised if we don't see Nikki and Kenny getting more and more involved in justice reform themselves, because then it's like, okay, well, now that things have been proven, or situations have changed, now it's okay for us to finally talk about our side of things. And that will, change stuff and everything. But I just keep seeing her and Kenny like really working with like families of people who've been incarcerated and, kids and stuff like that, and trying to help like make sure that they're getting, education and everything. So it is something that, even though everybody always thinks like, oh, this is so bad and it's so horrible, it's actually going to kind of be like Kenny and Nikki's lemonade moment, where they're able to take this situation that everybody thought was the end of everything and so horrible and turn it into something bigger and better, and be able to reclaim the story with their own narrative too about what really went down. So I don't feel like she's gonna like outright open of any of her own schools, Mimi Mama. I just feel like it's gonna be more like scholarship related. Barbie Onika, we already know that certain blogs will just completely ignore that story, because then they're going to have to admit that they were wrong for posting it in the first place, or because they're so stuck on they're never going to give Nikki another chance, and they're just going to hate on her forever. So the fact is that, some of them will never ever post what really happened, but some of them will. So done what before on Twitter, because she's given money away to college kids on Twitter, and she's also tried to clear up what happened with Kenny on Twitter too. So Jalen, yeah, I already did answer that, but her other mixtapes will get released too. Just basically, you guys, all of Nikki's music at some point or another, especially the what do you call, like, the older stuff, like her mixtapes, they all will get you know released at some point or another, especially I keep feeling like over the next year. It's just, keep in mind too, the closer that we get towards her album, and I'll get to your question and next ad twice, the closer that we get towards Nikki's album release, obviously she's not going to want to go drop like one of her old mixtapes, because then it's like too much, all at once on the charts and everything. And obviously you want to put all your time and attention and energy into promoting your new stuff, not getting all the attention on your old stuff then. So I feel like the rest of the mixtapes, we'll probably get them in that space between her fifth and sixth album. But also keep in mind, guys, her fifth and sixth album, there's not going to be as big of a wait between the two of them as there has been for her other albums in the past. Oh, thank you, Barbie's Enemy. And welcome in, babe. And for any of you who are coming in late, welcome. My AC is broken, you guys. It's literally like 96 degrees up here, so I don't know how long I'm going to be able to last, but I'm trying to get through it tonight. And thank you so much, Laverne. So, and hold your questions for a minute, guys, so I can get through the ones that we already have up on the board. Add twice. She only received one from Meek. And I'll be honest with you, like, it didn't change anything when it comes to the documentary. Because, first of all, she's not gonna. Nicki was not planning on dedicating a whole bunch of her documentary to Meek Mouse, anyways. Like, let's be honest. Like, especially if this was like right after they had broken up, maybe she would have ended up like talking about him more. But she's in such a different place in her life. Like, she's married, she has a baby. She just bought a beautiful new mansion that she's decorating, you know, and giving her makeup artists their own freaking like tables and stuff in there. So it's like she's in such a different space and such a different energy that Spirit was saying any mention of Meek and that time in her life was like so brief, anyways. Like maybe altogether 2 to 3 minutes about that relationship. So that's why, like, I just feel like everybody that, you know, like her lawyers and her were just like laughing. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, who cares? It's not even that big of a deal, Meek. Like, you're not that important. But that just shows you again what a fucking cornball Meek is. That he thinks that he's that important that Nicki would really like want to talk about him that much in her documentary to the point that she would, you know, want to talk about his ass anyways. Like, nobody cares about you, really. Like, you're the one that has to go buy vibrating panties and talk about it on Twitter just so that you can be relevant. So, okay, guys, you can drop some more of your questions. No, Mello, she's not gonna show that either. Like, this is the thing too, guys. Any of the big like drama stuff that has happened in Nicki's life, you know, like the incident with Cardboard Box or the stuff that happened with Meek, it's like if it is mentioned, it's really only mentioned like in her like, you know, because if it's a part of the bigger picture, you know, like when I was going through the hate train, everybody was against me. And, you know, as I was going through a breakup at the same time, da 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 happened. But it's just literally like a part of the conversation. Like, she's not going to sit there and be like showing 28 different camera angles of like which way the shoe was flying as it was coming at her, and you know, like the security guards tackling people and trying to clear everything out. Like, I don't feel like she doesn't even want to revisit that energy. I mean, and that's really what it is. Like, she really, really, really doesn't want to revisit that energy because you guys think about it. That was like such a hard time in her life. Now she's like past that. That's over. She has all these blessings and she's trying to bring in a new energy where people do appreciate her and there is love and there is, you know, happiness and joy and stuff like that. So to her, it's like, why would I want to go revisit like all of the negative stuff and then have that all brought back up again? Because we know how the internet is. I mean, we saw that like last week, everybody was rehashing an old Mike Tyson and Robin Givens interview. And that's how the internet is. They'll go like rehash everything. So she doesn't want them spending the next month, everybody on Twitter. Oh my God. You know, like just bringing back up all that stuff so that they can all start fighting about it again. So yes, Miss Cosmos. She has a documentary dropping. We're supposed to get the trailer for it this month. So, Barbie's enemy, she doesn't. I'm trying to think of how to like explain this. Okay, so I don't feel like it's an active worry of hers that the hate train is coming back. I think that, we've talked about this, is that she has, just like everybody else in Hollywood, had her own psychic readings and spiritual protections and things put in place. And so Spirit's saying like she knows that she's very protected, number one, from all of this stuff, like in a spiritual sense, but she also like sees that the energy is different towards her. But on top of it, what Spirit's saying is that she also like her spiritual advisors basically told her like it's not gonna be like that. Like people are gonna be so welcoming, but you still have PTSD, right? Like you go through something that was so like stressful, traumatic, bad, whatever. Even though everybody's telling you, "Oh, it's done, it's done, it's done," you still do have that little like, do I got to keep looking over my shoulder moment? And that's where she's at, but it's not because it's, like she's like always like, oh my God, they're all gonna like attack me. It's just that little worry in the back of her head that she still has to kind of like heal. So, um, Jalen, the whole reason why the documentary got pushed back a month had because everybody was trying to float that it was like the cease and desist thing. Her documentary already got pushed back anyways, and the reason being is because there's songs in the documentary that Irving wanted her to keep in and be able to release as singles, like standalone singles, because they weren't anything that ended up on the album, but we do hear them in the documentary, so she has to get them registered. So that's what they are still working on, is getting all of that stuff registered so that way she can release those singles along with the documentary. So no, she's not gonna stop completely, Mimi Mama. And it'll be like, a lot of times when we see, like Whitney Houston used to do that, where she'd be on the soundtrack for like movies that she would be in, or she would be the soundtrack, Beyonce's done that too. I feel Nicki doing a lot of that. Like I'm doing the soundtrack for a movie that I'm in, so we'll still get music from her. We're just not going to get whole studio albums and things like that from her, for a while she concentrates more on businesses and movies and acting and stuff like that. And thank you, Gabrielle. Yes, you guys, make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure you like the video. We have 53 people in here. Well, 55 now. So let's make those likes match the viewers. And listen, guys, number one, a cease and desist doesn't really mean anything. It's just a warning shot that if you keep doing this, legally I've asked you to stop and here's my request. So that way when I go to court, I can tell the judge, look, I tried to make you stop. But the thing is, when it comes to stuff, because that would end up being something like defamation, Meek would have to prove that he actually didn't do anything that she says about him in it. So he doesn't really have a leg to stand on to kind of throw anything at her because she's allowed to talk about her life and her experiences. And like, let's face it, it's not like anybody thinks that Meek is Mother Teresa or Gandhi and that Nikki's gonna come along and just destroy his beautiful, shining, perfect reputation. So you still have a right to speak your truth on things. You just can't go out there and lie about people and say things are factual when they're not. Like you can't, like she can't go out there and be like, Meek stole my car and ran over my mom with it if he can prove I never had your car and your mom hasn't been, I know, like your mom's never been driven over. Like, yeah, then she can get in trouble. But if she says, Meek yelled out the window of the car at my mom, well, then Meek has to prove that he didn't do that. So good luck to you. So, okay, hold on. Let me go back up. Hold the questions for a moment, guys, so that way I can get to the other ones. Barbie's enemy, Nikki doesn't really like trip off of gossip blogs. Like she understands that they have a purpose, right? And we know that she's cool with Kyle from the Neighborhood Talk and Tasha K and Raw Ali. So Nikki doesn't really have like an issue with gossip blogs, like the Shade Room or Hollywood Unlocked, as long as they're not being bullies. Like if you're posting that somebody has a song coming out or something did happen, cool, I get it, you're doing your job, whatever. It's when you're using that platform to pick on her or other artists or try to push an artist who's paying you, to like them, Atlantic and Cardboard Box with Hollywood Unlocked. That's when she just gets annoyed. But I'll tell you this, like she doesn't really care too much about the Shade Room one way or the other. And she feels like Jason Lee's just a joke and that he doesn't even deserve her energy anyways. So, yeah, Bolt's original. You know what? When I saw that video, of Tracy Ellis Ross and Diddy drinking the vodka and putting the conditioner in their hair, and I heard Seeing Green in the back because I follow Tracy Ellis Ross. So right as soon as she posted it, like I saw it, and I was like, "Oh my God, they're listening to Nicki." But we know Diddy's always had a lot of love for Nicki, and so has Ross. I don't know. I've never heard Rick Ross say anything bad about her, even though I know that Meek was his artist. Ray J is Ray J. Sean, I feel like Nicki's actually like I feel like if Nicki works with new producers, it's gonna be more so on like if she's a feature on another artist song, like the Polo G song that's coming out, like that kind of stuff. Like, okay, if he's using a new producer. But I actually feel like because you guys, Nicki gave us a huge clue in that letter that she wrote to us that she said more than ever she's realizing how important it is to go to back to basics, right? And that's in reference to all the stupid ass stripper rap and the TikTok stuff and all of that. So, and we saw that, Big Cindy like posted about how they were like up to their old shenanigans or whatever. I actually feel like we're gonna get probably more maybe mixtape version Nicki this era with some Pink Friday thrown in. But I actually feel her more going to like back to the beginning and what her music used to sound like and the people that she used to work with. So we'll probably get older producers that she worked with more than newer ones. So Yeah, Jason's a huge bully. Right, Bolt? You know what? I mean, oh, did he, Princess Patty? You know what? This is the thing. I don't really pay attention to Rick Ross like that. So that's why I said as far as I knew, but I'm not surprised then. Backyard challenge. I love that. Oh, yeah, I was gonna say out of all the Rosses that we just mentioned, Tracy Ellis is my favorite too. Like not Rick Ross. I don't really pay that much attention to Rick Ross. So, okay, guys, you can drop some more questions. And somebody asked if Nikki will do more overseas promotion. Yeah, she just has to, I mean, obviously, guys, keep in mind some of the stuff that she's going to want to do or that we would want for her to do, as far as promotions, performances, things like that. We still have to keep in mind there's still a panorama that keeps coming and going because, they started telling everybody we can go outside and take our masks off, and now Portugal's shutting down again. They're talking about other countries following suit and going back into shutdowns again. So, if she's not able to go to Barbados or whatever, like, don't take it personally. It's not because of that. It's just because either, the country itself may not want a bunch of big superstars coming and doing concerts where everybody's then going to be packed into small areas, transmitting diseases to each other again. Or we also have to remember now Nikki has a baby at home that she also has to be worried about and be careful with. So I do get, that she's going to try to do as much as she can, but unfortunately we still have to, work around the limits and whatnot of COVID. Oh, I'm glad that she followed Tracy. I do feel like she's going to, Antoine. I feel like she's going to have a couple. I mean, first, one of the songs that is going to come, that's going to come along is going to be one of the ones that's, a previously unreleased, unregistered song from the documentary. And then after that, her lead single. So, Tay, I've done a million readings about that, so I'm not answering that again. Um, when can we expect magazine covers? Right around the time that her album's gonna drop, like right before it, Taddy. So, Blessing, I do feel like we are gonna see her on something like Carpool Karaoke. And honestly, you guys, I think that that would be like so freaking dope too. For Nikki to be in Carpool Karaoke because she can like do impersonations and change stuff up, and she's got a shit ton of her own hits that she can perform in there and everything. So, and I feel like her and James Corden, like their energy bouncing off of each other is going to be like so entertaining. Hey Ezra, welcome, babe. And it's okay. Oh my gosh, it's been a crazy couple months. It feels like nothing happened and then everything happened all at once. So Zuper, she's definitely going to be on the cover of more than one country's Vogue, is what Spirit's saying. You know, so we'll probably get like India Vogue and British Vogue, or British Vogue and American Vogue. But I keep seeing like two big Vogue covers. Add Twice, she wants to tour next year, but it's just gonna depend on, you know, like what's going on with the whole pandemic stuff. Yes, her rollout is gonna be huge, you guys. Huge. I told you guys, she has a really big budget this time around. Irving's been making all these deals with streaming and radio and stuff. Like, he's gonna make sure everything is, you know, set up and legit so that she can actually really, really, really um get everything out there. Will Nikki collab with McDonald's? I feel like, you know what Spirit is saying? They've approached her and they've talked about it. She hasn't been sure if that's really like the move for her though. Like, she wants to, like, part of her does, she's like, I know the Barbs will go support this, but then part of her is like, do I really want to collab with McDonald's though? Like, so I think she'll probably end up doing it though. But Spirit says that they are in talks about it. Onika and Foxy Brown, her next fragrance, we've talked about this, is gonna come out with her next album. I know, Mimi Mama. I listen. Well, you know, over on Station Head, we listen to Monster all the damn time because Kanye's on it too. Like, I was like, all my favorite rappers are on that song. I love that song. You want me to give you an AO? Why? No, that's somebody else's stuff. Her rollout started, I mean, her comeback started with her coming back to drop the mixtape, but Nicki's actual rollout will not include anybody else. Like, and that's what you guys have to remember. You know, they want all eyes on her. Like, just the same way that Nicki is looking at, you know, this as being her redemption era for the hate train. Irving is determined that this is Nicki's redemption era for the hate train, and that she's not going to go through the same, you know, crap and everything, and that she's going to get the attention that he feels that she deserves. Like, he feels like, I'm helping you because, like, Spirit keeps saying, like, on a personal level, um, Irving feels like what happened to Nikki was so messed up, and it's like, I want to make it up to you. Like, I saw what you went through, and that was not okay. So it's not just business, it's him trying to do that too. No, I didn't see that bolt. Oh my god, Mimi Mama, right? You guys are so funny. No, we don't need any of the sharing the spotlight and kumbaya shit either. We really don't. So, Antoine, you know what's so funny is that, yes, number one, yes, it's going to be good. Everybody's going to love the costume. But also, like, this is so weird. I keep getting that, like, Irving is, like, even playing a hand in that stuff. Like, I want to see what this looks like. Like, he wants to make sure that everything is top notch this era. Like, he's not letting any mistakes happen. After this documentary, will we ever get another one? Maybe a couple years from now. Um, no. I'll just tell you this energetically right now, as of right now, and things can always change. People can change their minds. They can decide later on that they have more to share or whatever. But energetically, I do not see another documentary coming. I see her posting stuff, like on her YouTube channel and her Instagram that are things that are kind of, behind the scenes, like the behind the scenes from Seeing Green, or her putting together little like clips of like home videos, of her and Kenny and Papa Bear doing stuff or whatever mixed in with other things that she's got going on. But I don't really see her doing like a whole like documentary. But what Spirit is saying is we will get more behind the scenes kind of stuff from her, especially once she goes back out on tour. Like, yeah, it would be kind of more like a vlog. Like, we might get like, tour vlogs and like it's little clips and we get to see like, oh, this is what they were doing on the tour bus, when they were in Lincoln, Nebraska, and here's what they were doing on the flight to Japan, like stuff like that, but it'll be set to like her music. So it'll be really similar to what we got from Seeing Green, is what Spirit's saying. Yeah, she's gonna have more kids too. So, but I do see her being active and more connected to us in a way that we haven't really gotten from her in the past. Like, she'll find new ways to stay more connected to us. So even if she's not putting out music, you know, for a while, but she's more so like acting and things like that, like we'll get those little vlogs and things instead from her. There's a lot of people, you guys. We're going to see Nikki doing a lot of features coming up because that is her way of, kind of getting everybody excited for what's coming for her album. Because, I mean, think about it. The more that we hear, like, oh my God, we just heard her, like, do a, verse on a Justin Bieber song. Oh, thank you so much, Laverne, and I hope you have a great night, babe. Love you, and I will talk to you again soon. But like what does that do? That makes us all excited. Like, oh my God, like I can't wait to see what she's coming out with on her own album. Like Blessing just said, it's the signature feature run. That's how she starts her eras. So, um, you know what, Jalen? I feel like we're gonna get some other kind of game from her, but I keep getting that there was something that wasn't like on the complete up and up with that last company. So we'll get one from her, but not from them. It'll be like a different company that she works with. So, and she's Hollow T. She always has iconic rap lines every era. So, and you guys, I know this is completely unrelated, but I just have to say, um, did you guys hear that supposedly Kanye went out with his friends to a strip club in Wyoming and he didn't drink and he didn't participate in the stripping and he sat there and talked to some girl about his spiritual beliefs for 4 hours? And then after that, like he tipped her $15,000 when he left and told her to go give her life to God or something. I was like, I fucking love it though. Like, I love it because I'll answer your question in a second, Kayla. But I was like, this is like, I love this for Kanye. You're dating Irina Shayk. You're going to strip clubs and tipping 15 grand. Like, and you're just sitting there like wasting 4 hours of this girl's time to tell her about Jesus Christ and then pay her to quit being a stripper. I love Kanye. That's just like such a Kanye thing to do though, right? And so hey, and you guys, I'll get to Kayla's question in a second and then I'll get to the other questions, but hold your questions for a minute so I can get to the ones that are already up on the board. But I also have to say, like if you go on Stationhead, guys, literally all of like the channels that are on the leaderboard, I mean, they kicked Mob Radio out of the like top spots and everything as all the BTS army swarming over there to get the streams up. So make sure that you guys are going over and supporting Nicki's stream team because they've really been on their stuff and BTS keeps knocking them out of the way. So, and I don't have any problem with BTS. We're not hating on BTS. I'm just saying we're also trying to do some stuff for Nicki. So let's make sure that we're, and it's a good practice too, doing the streams for fractions and seeing green so that we're prepared and ready to go when the next era comes. And I was telling everybody the other morning, I'm like, we need to go like start being really nice to BTS. The BTS fans, like, hey, want to help us with our streams, guys? You are really great at this. Kayla, I feel like she's gonna do that with the next pregnancy. Spirit is saying that Nicki really liked the fact that she could just sort of like hide in the house, with her belly and not like have to share so much of that with the world. Because even though, like, I've told you guys, if there was like a way that Nicki could just only share with the Barbs and not with the rest of the world, then it would totally like she would share so much more with us. It's the problem is it's the rest of the world. So that's why what do you call that's why I just feel like, for her, like because Nicki is very spiritual, she's proven that and she has said so, but Nicki is actually much more spiritual than she even lets on to people. And so for her, she feels like being pregnant is such like a very like personal, private, spiritual experience. And that's why like she loved that she got to spend so much of it like privately and everything. So yes, and just for anybody who didn't know, because we get asked every week, Nikki will have a daughter and she is going to have more babies. I'm like, damn, like, I see why Beyonce always gets annoyed when people are always, like, assuming that she's pregnant or asking if she's getting pregnant again or she's going to, like, do all that again. It's just, like, how Beyonce gets annoyed. Like, I start feeling that on behalf of Nikki. Yeah, Lindy, I know BTS has a meal at McDonald's. We were just talking about that on Station Head. Because I was saying the weird thing about these, like, McDonald's meals, it's like a number six with a Diet Coke, and then they just give you, like, a sauce packet. Like, that's the only thing that's different. Like, none of it's ever, like, some new thing that was created just for, Travis Scott or BTS. Like, BTS is like a chicken nugget meal with some different kind of sauce. Travis Scott's meal was like a fucking, what was it, quarter pounder or something with a Sprite to drink and some like ranch to dip your fries in. I was like, what the fuck? And we were talking about Station Head too, because my son's grandma like had just gotten a job at McDonald's right when the Travis Scott meal came out, and we had to explain to her who Travis Scott was because she had no idea. She's like, who's Travis Scott and why is he important? Did he have an Oreo McFlurry too? I don't know. The McDonald's by my house, the only thing that they were promoting was that it was a quarter pounder meal with a Sprite to drink, and then it came with like some sauce to dip your French fries in. But there's nothing going on with her and HBO Ezra. It's that they're registering the unreleased songs that are going to be in the documentary. So they're just waiting on all of that to get finished so that way they can go ahead and start releasing the trailer and stuff. She very much is Bolt. Oh, there was barbecue sauce on the quarter pounder. Oh my god, the McWraps, I forgot about those. Yeah, they don't have Whataburger in California. The Bad Bunny meal. Wait, there was a Bad Bunny meal? I didn't even see that. Every time people say Bad Bunny, I immediately think they're talking about Bad Baby, and then I have to remember that they mean the rapper Bad Bunny. The guy, I always think that everybody's talking about Bad Baby from Dr. Phil at first, every time I see that name, and that's why I was like, when I read that, and you guys said Bad, and I was thinking Bad Bunny or Bad Baby, I was just thinking, what the fuck is even in that, like, like, why did I think that they just take all of the food and just throw it in the bag and like squirt some ketchup on top of it and then throw it through the window at you? Like, they don't even try because she's just such a mess. Like, that's what I feel like it would be. Like, they just throw a bunch of food in a bag and throw some ketchup in it and then throw it at you and tell you to go fuck yourself at the window or something. Okay, so wait, it was J Balvin had a meal? Okay. Well, let me tell you guys something too, and then we'll take our last round of questions. So just hold your questions for one moment, and then we'll jump back in. You guys, be prepared because I was just reading about this anyways. That because of, transportation costs and all of the effects of the pandemic and everything, that certain things will see the price of go up a little bit, and then other things, like if they feel like they can't justify like raising the cost of a bag of chips, for example, they'll make the bag of chips smaller but sell it for the same price. So I know the Crocs price going up was directly because of Onika, but I just wanted to let you guys know too that, we are dealing with some crazy inflation and stuff because of everything that happened with the panorama. So just be prepared for that, guys. Kind of maybe adjust your budgets if you are on one. Okay, listen, Mimi Mama, I'm going to make myself feel really cool for 1 second because at least I knew the Bad Baby and J Balvin were two different people. That's the one thing that I'm like, at least I finally knew something one time. Because usually when you guys ask me, can you do a reading on this person? Or what do you think about that person? I'm like, I have no idea who you're talking about. Bad Bunny, Bad Baby, you know what I mean. Now I just keep saying the dang name together. Oh, Jessica. Well, listen, Ellen still has the rest of this season and then her next season, right? So she's coming back for one more, but that's it. Well, it's so funny because she tried to say that she was quitting or that she didn't want to resign because it's not a challenge to her anymore. But then somebody brought up the point that her ratings have dropped like 45%. So they were like, it's kind of basically, a challenge that you can't keep your ratings up, isn't it? So, you guys like Ellen? I don't know. I just started feeling like she was really boring after a while. Like I like certain interviews that she does with people like Nikki, but then other stuff it just kind of gets boring and too much day to day the same. Heaven King videos? What's that? Right, Blessing. I'm like, when was your show ever a challenge? It's daytime TV. I don't ever like watch any TV, so any stuff that I do see, it's like I just see like the clips that get, cut up and reposted on YouTube or Instagram, cuz something really happened and went viral. Like I always say this too. I'm like I don't think I've ever watched a season of um Keeping Up with the Kardashians since maybe like the first season, but yet there's always clips of that show being reposted everywhere. So it's like, of course, you can't escape it, and it's like I always know what the heck is going on with them, regardless of if I watch that show or not, because it always gets reposted everywhere, or, they're talking about drama that happened last year, anyways. Oh, okay. I think I know who you mean now, Barbie Onika. I remember those two little girls um that dressed up and like sang all the time. Were they sisters or something? That used to like love Nikki so much. They were those little British girls and they wore those like dresses like when they met her on that show. No, I know it's not them, Barbie Onika. I was just saying I remember them. Of course she wants her on her show, Bolt. The car dickheads. Well, I just, call them Baphomet Jenner and her succubi coven because that's exactly what they are. Sophia, Grace, and Rosie, that's their names. I knew one of them was named Rosie. I couldn't remember the other one. Yeah, they said that Kelly Clarkson's supposed to be the one to take over Ellen's slot. I don't feel like Kelly Clarkson's show is going to survive very great in Ellen's slot. So, all right, guys, go ahead and drop our last set of questions, and then I am going to have to start wrapping it up because these towels are no longer hot and my back is starting to sweat. And I do gotta go anyways because I gotta leave out of here. I can't stay the night here. Um, Onika, I feel like Big Fendi is producing a project and Nikki's on it, but I also keep getting that he is going to be, involved in at least a couple of the songs on her next album. So just like I was talking about, earlier, where we're going to see a whole lot of the people that she worked with in the past. It's going to be more her working with older producers and the older sounds people and the people who helped her in her beginning, when she had that sound going for herself. I feel like it's going to be those people that she's going to be working with much more than like a whole bunch of new producers or anything like that. So they do have some songs coming. Yeah, Princess Patty. She has more Latin music coming. You know what's so funny is that like after everything happened where that song with her and Carol G just like blew up so big, like I feel like she got slammed by Latin music, singers and performers and stuff wanting her to get on their songs and have them go viral, but then it was also a lot of people from other eras like reggae and Jamaican music and Middle Eastern music. Like all of a sudden everybody from every like era all over the place is like, we need Nikki to join us. But we'll get some from her, and I do feel it getting really big too in the States again. um Jalen, we've answered that before. Barbie's enemy, she doesn't care one way or the other, so it's not important. Um, oh my God, that was such a long time ago, Jessica. If it's the right, like, show, Kayla, so for example, like right now, how we see that Ariana is gonna host, a season of The Voice. Like if things had worked out that Nikki could have also been a judge at the same time as her, I feel like she would have considered it. Obviously it's just gonna depend on what the show is and what else she has going on in her life and obviously who else is gonna be on the show. But if it was something that Nikki felt like, especially like when she's trying to transition away from music and have more time to, combine working and being a mom, if it was an opportunity like a show that did have, a good schedule where she could be home for dinner every night with the kids or something like that, I feel like she would probably jump on it. So it's Spirit said we might see her do like a season of something, in the next few years, but it would be more like once her kids start going to school that she would be more interested in like trying to find a show to co-host or something. She did, blessing. She let us know that the black ball era is over. No, Bolt Original, it'll do good. It just keep in mind, guys. I always tell you this: stop asking me how songs are gonna do because Spirit's not gonna answer because they don't want you guys getting lazy and not streaming and buying. Yeah, Nikki's definitely going to do more mixtape era, like back to basics Nikki stuff. So I know, Mimi Mama, right? It's like people that the first like group of people who won things like American Idol, like the Carrie Underwood, the what do you call Kelly Clarkson. They're like the only two, right? I'm like, who else has like made it big off of those songs? Because I don't think anybody's made it off of those shows since then. They're the only ones I can think of right now. Oh, Fantasia, yeah. Well, I'm talking about Adam Lambert, and I'm not shitting on anybody. I'm not like dissing him. I'm just saying Adam Lambert, where is he though? But even those people, those are all from years ago. It's not like anybody recent, right? I know, Kiana, that would be great if they would do that, but I doubt it. Lindy, they have. I don't feel like it's something that she's wanted to do though. Onika, we talked about that last like pretty much like every week. Um, but Nikki's gonna do more animated kid stuff. We'll see her do more voice acting too. Because she wants to do stuff that Papa Bear can watch and see and be like, oh, look, there's mommy on the screen. She's playing the squirrel or something. She did, and she has a song coming out on the Space Jam soundtrack too. So, okay, drop the last couple questions, guys, because I'm about to say no more. I know. I just like can't wait to hear like what his little voice is gonna sound like. Like we've heard like, the little little grunts and like baby noises that he makes. But it's just like when he like actually says like words or like a sentence, like it's gonna be so cute to like see how he sounds. So, mm, Amori can. Nobody said she was. Oh, will they collab with each other? I don't. I don't really see them working on anything together. Not anytime soon. It could change in the future, but in the next year or two, I don't see them working on any TV shows or movies or anything. Um, so if she goes on another hiatus, Jessica, it would be like for 3 weeks, and it would literally be like, oh, like, she's just like in the studio editing stuff and listening to the final cuts of all the songs and making the final, changes and decisions and stuff and taking promo pictures and, doing all of the business things that got to line up behind the scenes. But I don't get that, she would go away for months at a time or anything like that. So, and no more questions, guys, because I'm going to have to get up off of here in a moment. I know, you know what? I haven't even noticed that she's been gone. It wasn't until like earlier today somebody said, oh, hey, like, did you notice she's been gone for a month? And I was like, no, I didn't. So, yes, Antoine, there's going to be another song that has a similar feel or sound or whatever to Bang Bang. I keep feeling like Nikki is going to work with both Jessie J. Well, I mean, we obviously know that, she's going to work again with Ariana because they both have, obviously whatever. But I do get that she is going to work with Jessie J again too. I just feel like it's not going to be all three of them together. It'll be, separate stuff. So I don't know if they have a Moricon. You know what's so funny is that, not because we like to just focus on Nikki over here, but I we thought, well, Nikki was on her hiatus, because that was always our joke too, is that everything became, we miss Nikki, we want her to come back, it was a recipe about chicken, and it's like, I'll make Nikki this chicken if she comes back. Nobody is doing that for, Bodega B. Oh, I thought she was busy getting her a Bird Gang beauty supply line together. Either way, either way, nobody's crying on the internet saying that they really can't wait for her to hurry up and come back the way that they were when, you know, Nikki was gone. So, I'm fixing that Botox face. Yo, I just have to say, when I was getting ready, like, I was listening to clips, from gossip channels and stuff, trying to catch up on like what I've missed this week. And so it started playing the Wendy Williams Hot Topics. And she said some shit about Angelina Jolie that was just so funny. That she's like, yeah, you're gonna need to like what did she tell her? Oh, because she was talking about how like people were saying that Angelina Jolie said that she's supposedly never gonna forgive Brad Pitt for trying to like fight for custody of his own kids too. I'm like, hello, they're also his children. But what's funny is that, like, Wendy was like, well, if you're gonna walk around like that, then you better get used to needing Botox for the rest of your life. And she started saying that Angelina Jolie was gonna need Botox forever because of all the hate she has in her heart. And it's just, I don't know, it was so funny and savage the way that she said it. And I was just thinking, is that why Bodega B is always running to go get surgery? Because she has to, because all that hate messed up her face. wouldn't be surprised if that happened, though. Oh, they totally do, Jessica. I mean, if you look at the trajectory of everything that they've done with her career, including the things that they've tried to, like the, collabs and business deals and stuff like that, it is always trying to just copy off of Onika. She probably is Ezra. No, Angelina is very pretty, but at some point everybody's face starts to doesn't stay the same. But anyways, guys, if you wanted to book your own personal private reading with me or schedule a healing session, it is psychicbellalove.com. Tonight is the last night to get the big discount on everything. And I will definitely be back over here next Friday night. And I will be back on Stationhead Tuesday morning because Monday we'll have to skip because we're getting the AC installed finally, thank God. And then I can actually sit still and record a video too without dying. But anyways, guys, I am going to get out of here so I can actually go breathe because, it literally feels so muggy and hot in this room. It's hard to breathe. I love you. Thank you for joining us. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button on your way out. And I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.